You've probably already sat through the magic of AI presentation at least 10 times already. And you've seen the AI twinkle added into more of your day-to-day tools than you can count. The overwhelm of trying to decide which AI tools, where to implement them, and how to prove ROI is real. The goal of this course is to help you create a clear, vendor-neutral action plan for putting AI to work for your business. By the end of this course, you'll leave with 3 things: a short list of 2 to 3 AI use cases you can pilot in the next 30 days, a simple prompting framework to help you get high-quality, dependable results, and a lightweight readiness checklist to help you manage risk. I've separated out each section, so feel free to navigate ahead at any time. Before we jump into making these 3 things, I wanted to define what I'm even talking about when I say AI. There are 3 waves. The first was traditional AI. Think basic, rule-based systems or predictive analytics. Think of this as the solid foundation, but without the pretty packaging. The second wave, the wave that gave us ChatGPT, is generative AI or Gen AI. These tools opened up a whole new world of content creation. They're the highly caffeinated interns who generate text, images, or code based on patterns. But here's the key: they're reactive. They wait for you to prompt before producing a single specific output. They really are like an intern, ready to work, but waiting to be told what's needed. The third wave is agentic AI. An agentic AI is proactive and goal-driven. It can autonomously plan and execute complex multi-step tests across multiple different systems to achieve a specified goal. Think of transitioning from an intern to having a highly paid autonomous project manager who coordinates the whole creative workflow for you. This shifts us from simple efficiency gains to accelerating operational workflows. Now, why does this matter? The cost of running an AI model, like the older ChatGPT 3.5 level, dropped over 280-fold in 2 years. Hardware is cheaper too. This means small businesses no longer need a massive budget or a super dedicated IT wizard to start. We're past the experimental phase. Companies using AI are reporting huge benefits, like 87% increased productivity and 86% business growth. AI automates those tasks that help free up your team to do less repetitive tasks and can help you save on hiring, onboarding, and training costs. The responsibility now is to make sure your AI adoption isn't haphazard. We need a plan to move past just dabbling with the features. But please remember this core principle: AI augments, it does not replace human judgment. You must maintain a human-centric approach to implementing AI. Let's go over the major AI assistants you should know about right now. Keep in mind that everything I'm about to talk through is accurate at the time of this recording, but may change. So be sure to check each tool's website for the most accurate information. Let's start with ChatGPT by OpenAI. ChatGPT is a versatile generalist, great for rapid ideation and multimodal tasks with GPT-4. It excels at brainstorming, drafting, coding help, and real-time interaction. Licensing starts at $25 per month per user billed annually. One limitation to note: it doesn't have native file graph access to Microsoft 365 or Google Workspace without extra connectors. Next up, Claude by Anthropic. Claude stands out for its safety-forward design and excellent context awareness. It handles very long documents and threads, making it ideal for structured writing, complex analysis, and reviewing policies or contracts. The team plan also starts at $25 per user per month with a minimum of 5 users. However, it's not built for deep integrations or complex plug-and-play live support workflows. Next on the list of assistants is Gemini by Google. Gemini is natively multimodal, working with text and images, audio, and video support a long context window, up to 1 million tokens. It's best for Drive, Docs, and Sheets research, image tasks, and synthesizing information from multiple sources. Gemini is included in base Google Workspace subscriptions, like Business Standard, at about $14 per user per month on an annual plan. Enterprise controls may vary by edition, and it offers tighter ecosystem integrations compared to Microsoft. Finally, Copilot by Microsoft 365. Copilot offers deep integration across the Microsoft 365 ecosystem, including Outlook, Excel, and Teams. It's designed for generating professional proposals, complex formulas, meeting intelligence, and standardized reports. Copilot is a $30 per user per month add-on, requiring a Microsoft 365 Business Standard or Premium subscription. It is best utilized exclusively inside the Microsoft ecosystem. I want to point out the difference between the two built-in workspace platforms. Google's move to bundle premium AI features into the base workspace subscription is intentionally lowering the adoption barrier for cost-sensitive SMBs. They're basically saying, just use it, it's already here. If your entire operational workflow is centered around Microsoft, Copilot's deep native integration provides productivity gains that often justify that separate $30 add-on cost, especially for managers who spend their entire lives in Outlook and Teams. Now that you're familiar with the platforms, I'll let you in on the secret sauce. Your AI results will only ever be as good as the instructions that you give. The key to dependable AI behavior is 100% controlled by your prompt. Think of prompting as the difference between a crayon scribble and a professionally rendered blueprint. It's both a scientific method and an artistic practice, and there's a hidden economic factor here. A shorter, structured prompt can lead to up to a 76% cost reduction in inference cost compared to those overly detailed rambling requests. Next, we'll overview and try out 2 prompting frameworks to help you get better results faster. Let's start by going over the CRIT framework. CRIT is what you use when you need the AI to act as a thought partner or help with complex or ambiguous problems. C stands for context. Define the objective and constraints. In other words, tell the AI. R stands for role. Assign the AI an expert persona. For example, act as a strategy analyst for the CEO. This forces it to adopt the right perspective. I stands for interview. Instruct the AI to ask you clarifying questions before generating output. This forces self-reflection and challenges your initial assumptions. T stands for task. Clearly define the final deliverable. Let's do a little before and after to show CRIT prompting in action. For this example, I'll be using Copilot. I'll type in a problem such as, our current SharePoint site is unsearchable and documents are scattered across systems. How can I fix this? Copilot then responds with helpful next steps that might help me ideate or brainstorm, but I may already have thought of some of these things, and this may result in a long back and forth chat thread. Now, we'll try prompting for the same problem using the CRIT framework. We'll start with a clear context, such as our internal documents are scattered across SharePoint, Google Drive, and Slack, wasting 2 hours per week for employee searching. This sets the stage for the problem: inefficiency due to fragmented document systems. Next, we define the role. Act as a knowledge management architect specializing in hierarchical document systems and taxonomy. This tells the assistant to respond with expertise in organizing and governing documents. Now, if maybe you don't know how to define the role or what role you're hoping it would play, this is an excellent use case for using AI to help you ideate and have a list of these roles before entering the CRIT prompt. Getting back to the framework, next comes the interview section. A set of targeted questions to gather insights, such as ask 4 questions about the 3 most searched topics, the 3 most outdated documents, the specific audience groups, and the required update frequency. Finally, the task. Define the top 5 folder categories, suggest 10 metadata tags, and create a 3-step document governance policy. The assistant will respond with 5 folder categories, 10 metadata tags, and a 3-step governance policy. Now, getting back to this live example, after submitting the prompt, from the interview stage, I answered the following questions of the 3 most searched topics with onboarding guides, pricing sheets, and solution brochures. For the 3 most outdated documents, I answered org charts, process docs, and service offering matrices. The key audience groups, I answered with sales, ops, and marketing. And for how often critical documents need updates, I answered annually. Copilot then provided, as you can see, the example of all of these things, knowing the context that I just gave further in the interview stage. For this example, it's showing us the top 5 folder categories of onboarding and HR resources, sales enablement, marketing assets, operations and processes, and strategy and planning. You can see the metadata tags here, such as status, owner, audience updated, review cycle, confidentiality, document type, version, keywords, and link systems. And finally, that 3-step governance policy for tag and upload, annual review reminder, and archiver update. This led to a structured solution within the constraints of SharePoint. You're giving your virtual assistant clear instructions that save time and can help you propose solutions to the teams working in those systems in steps and language that are clear to them. The next framework is GCSE. GCSE is great for predictable outcomes, operational tasks, or workflows requiring high reliability, such as summarizing or data processing. G stands for goal, the specific, tangible objective. What exactly do you need? C stands for context, explaining the purpose of the request. Why do you need it? S stands for sources. This is the most critical element for accuracy. It specifies the known proprietary information or documents the AI must rely on. This is your hallucination shield. E stands for expectations. Defines the required output format, tone, and audience. How should it look? Let's do another quick before and after, this time with Google Gemini. Without using the framework, I'll type in something like, compare our top 3 competitors and their solutions. This is within my workspace in Gemini. Just because it has permissions to the documents in my Google Drive, it's not going to reference them without a clear directive. You can see here that Gemini then follows up with questions and an overview of what type of data it will output. This is great learning in context, but let's focus on the same problem using the GCSE framework. For example, goal. Produce a comparison table detailing the features of the top 3 competitors. Context. This is for the quarterly product strategy presentation slides, C-suite audience. Sources. The attached competitor analysis sheet. Expectations. The table must contain exactly 5 features, and each feature description should be no longer than 5 words. Now I'll attach the PDF competitor analysis sheet, which is fictional in this case. After submitting the prompt, you'll see within Gemini that it's used its Canvas feature to output the comparison that allows you to edit right within the conversation or export as needed. This is one of my favorite features of Gemini. To recap, without the GCSE framework, I'm left with a lot of back and forth and homework to try to fill in, leading with the goals, context, sources, and expectations. I get the desired output faster. Pro tip, use an AI assistant to help you build out these prompts and then save the prompts that work well for easy access in the future. Sometimes getting started is the toughest part, so having a quick list of prompts to reuse and make slight adjustments to is a great way to not feel like you're spending more time typing than anything else. Many AI assistants also feature a voice prompt, where you can say these prompts rather than typing them out. You don't have to add the goal, context, source, expectation, or the labels for the CRIT prompting framework. I've done it here to clearly label each step, and it can help you build the habit of making sure you have each element within your prompts. Now, where should you apply these fancy new prompts? First, my advice is to focus on the boring, quick wins. Seriously, your phase 1 goal should be measurable. Aim to save a minimum of 5 to 10 hours per team per month. Start with a defined business problem. Let's take a quick look at how different business functions can use AI to automate. For operations and productivity, think of AI as your assistant for summarizing long emails, turning meeting transcripts into action items, or even answering spreadsheet questions. Tools like Otter.ai and Copilot can save managers up to 1 to 2 hours a day by doing just that. For sales and marketing, AI can help personalize outreach, repurpose content across formats, and summarize sales calls to extract key insights. Platforms like Jasper and Reply.io boost consistency and reply rates, sometimes even tripling them. For customer service and support, AI can streamline support with ticket triage, smart replies, and chatbot creation. A good rule of thumb is if a customer seems frustrated, escalate to a human, but let AI prep the summary first. For finance and back office, AI can automate invoice capture, categorize expenses, and generate weekly cash reports. Tools like Sage reduce manual entry and help flag financial risks early. Remember, the goal isn't to replace people. It's to free them up for the work that really matters. The highest value application for leaders is shifting from drafting content, Gen AI, to delegating multi-step execution, agentic AI. Agents can handle complex workflows like inbound leads, qualifying them, and booking appointments, all without you lifting a finger or needing to write complex code. This transition from simple content creation to operational agility is where the maximum value lies because it frees your staff to do the stuff they were actually hired for. Time to stop guessing and start measuring. This matrix helps you define your first 2 to 3 pilots based on viability, can AI do it, and impact, should AI do it. The goal is to pick 2 to 3 high-value, low-risk candidates for a 30-day pilot. Define this matrix linked below the video to download and work through as I overview. Step 1. Identify and score tasks. This is the viability step. List 5 to 10 routine tasks that your team does weekly, then score them as a 0 or 1 for these 4 attributes. Repetitive. Is it done frequently? Needs human review. Is the human role quality checking, not creation? Data-driven. Does it rely on documents or data? Predictable. Does it follow a fixed logic? Tasks scoring 3 or 4 are strong candidates. It's like a little matchmaking service for automation. Step 2. Assess the value and risk. That's the impact. For those tasks scoring a 3 or 4 total, evaluate the ROI. Value. Does it significantly increase revenue, reduce cost, or boost efficiency? Saving 60 minutes per day is roughly 183 hours a year. That's a significant cost avoidance. Risk. Does it involve sensitive data such as PII or PHFI, customer-facing interactions, or high-stakes compliance? Step 3 is to select pilot candidates. Focus on the tasks that you just scored as high value and low risk. Starting small and scaling gradually is the most effective strategy. Don't try to build the whole house on day 1, just focus on the foundation. Once you pick your 2 to 3 pilots, you need a measurable 30-day plan. Think of this as your pre-mission briefing. For week 1, define the success metric, whether that's time saved or error rate. Define the data sources and assign owners. Week 2 is your configuring week. Grant access, establish guardrails such as data rules and PII policy, and draft the first set of prompts. Week 3, run. Execute 10 to 15 real runs per use case. Capture time saved versus the baseline and document all the inevitable failure modes. Week 4, review. Compare baseline versus actual results. Document the new SOP and prompts. Then you can make the decision. Scale, tweak, or stop. Now that you've got a 30-day plan, keep in mind that you cannot start your pilot without establishing guardrails. This governance is your overarching safety net. Non-governed AI is a recipe for data breaches and compliance fines that will instantly erase any productivity gain. Here's your lightweight readiness checklist. First step is leadership. Assign an executive sponsor who ties use cases to a real KPI. Data. Define the source of truth. Never input sensitive data such as PII, PHI, meaning things such as emails, addresses, any personal identifiers, into unapproved free AI tools. That prevents data leakage. People. Create a basic training plan focused on prompting skills and appropriate use. Clarify AI's role as supporting, not replacing. Finally, risk and governance. Require human review, which we call the human in the loop step, before sensitive outputs, like customer replies or final policies, are published or acted upon. A final quick warning. Be aware that prompts themselves can be weaponized in the form of prompt injection. This is where malicious instructions are hidden inside documents or other connected content to manipulate the AI. This is exactly why defining approved tools and human-in-the-loop steps is crucial. To recap, the AI with the greatest impact on your business is often not the flashy, magical one you see in the headline. It's the unglamorous automation that eliminates retyping, shortens queues, and refines drafts. That's the real magic, because it frees your people to focus on the truly strategic parts of the job, such as coaching, creating, selling, and connecting with customers. Your most important next step is simple. Start the 30-day pilot on your 2 to 3 high-value, low-risk use cases today. Use the CRIT or GCSE framework to maximize the quality of your outputs. And if you still have more questions or could use additional guidance, CIT is here to help AI work for your business. Head out to citsolutions.net to get started.